Hello everybody, and what's good? I'm here with
Amelie, hello.
I'm Alessio, and today we will be covering the IMOT for you. The IMOT is a motorcycle exhibition here in Munich, in Germany. Let's see what there is to explore. So stay tuned and follow me. Welcome to the BMW stand. Here we have the CE04. Now we on our channel already talked about the CE02, its little sister. We can see it over there in just a minute. Let's talk about the CE04 and let's keep it short. So we have all the usual BMW commands. They're very handy, great finish. We have Bibre brakes, so a sub-brand by Brembo. And we have an overall very long vehicle, a very long scooter, as you can see. So I don't know how useful this would be in the city. It is definitely very comfortable. The seating position is great. The screen is huge and very beautiful. There's lots of space for passengers and more. Very comfortable position overall, very spacey design, very modern design. I like it. Surely not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's pretty cool. Let's talk about some technical data. This bike weighs 231 kilograms dry. Well, of course it weighs that dry because this is an electric vehicle and it does not contain any fluids, gases. So 231 kilos, I said. The price is starting from 13,000 euros here in Germany. But do make sure to check out the prices, your local prices. So let's move on to the CE02, its little brother. Oh, I forgot to mention the horsepower. The big one has a 42 horsepower electric motor. The little one, the CE02, it's called, comes in two versions, the AM version, which is relevant for Europe, and the A1 version, also relevant for Europe, which means it has 4 kilowatts or 11 kilowatts of power. The screen is way smaller. This bike costs from 8,000 euros, so not even that much less than its bigger brother. Overall, it is way shorter, it is way smaller. It's probably more comfortable if you just want to dart around in the cities. In general, the fit and finish is the same as on the bigger brother. It's a very good looking bike. It comes in different versions. We already have a video of this bike on our channel. If you're interested in seeing more or knowing more, do make sure to check out that video. Let's see what else there is to explore. Fooling around on a supermoto is simply fun. It is simply fun, and that's why Conti Attack developed an evolution of its SM1 tire. We have here the Conti Attack SM2 new for 2024. Now what does this tire offer with respect to its predecessor? Now we have a better tread, we have a longer life, we have more grip in the dry and in the wet, and also this is a great tire for track use. Yes, exactly, for track use. The dude said this tire is enough for most people on the track. You really don't need slicks except you take your bike to the very extreme. But this tire offers a lot of performance for many riders. So if you happen to be torn between putting a slick on your tire on your bike or not, get the SM2 instead. You can take your bike to the track, ride it there, do your laps, and then ride home without ever having to worry about a tire warmer or anything else. This is a great tire. Also, he said that it takes less time for it to be broken in. So you put this on your bike and you just take it easy for a while, but the break-in time has also been reduced. And overall, the bike, I continue saying the bike, this is a tire, okay? The tire is simply way better than its predecessor. Now that's all, let's move on. Hello and welcome back everybody. This is the Triumph stand here at IMOT in Munich. Now, what do I have in front of me? The new beautiful Daytona 660. It is no longer a 675cc inline triple. It is a 660 inline triple, which can also be found in the Tiger Sport or in the Triumph Trident, which came out a few years ago. First things first, let's talk about these handlebars. Now everybody always says, these handlebars in these modern racing bikes, let's call them street racers, okay, are way too high. These are actually pretty low. Like these clip-ons, they feel aggressive, yet at the same time comfortable. I can see myself going on a trip for a day on this. It might not be as comfortable as on a naked, but at the same time I got a lot of fairings in front of me, so I can hide in front of this windshield, behind this windshield, I mean, not in front, obviously. Now the bike produces 95 horsepower at 11,000 RPM. It is a triple after all, and the bike can also be had in an A2 license compliant version. We have a 310 millimeters brake disc up front with 4 pistons. The quick shifter with blipper is not standard. It is an option. You have to buy it. Otherwise, the bike presents itself really good. The height, the seat height, is pretty comfortable for me. I'm 170 centimeters tall or something thereabout, and I have to say this is very comfortable. Also, the inseam is very comfortable for me with these. The tank is also very comfortable for me. Now, what else is there to say? I don't think there is too much to say. We also made a dedicated video to the Daytona 660. So if you want to know more about this bike, then make sure to check out that video. Now let's move on to the other models we're gonna feature, namely the Scrambler 1200 and the Scrambler 400 models. The 400 models are of particular interest for us, but let's move on to the 1200s first. Follow me. Right, let's try to sift through all of these people. There's a lot of people here. Sadly. Oh, he's going. Yes, it's my time to shine. All right, so we have here in front of us the new 1200 Scrambler model. It is a very good looking bike. That is the first thing that comes to mind. Now, the seat height is also very comfortable. I have no problems whatsoever on this bike with my height. The screen is a mixture of LCD and TFT. Same goes for the Daytona, by the way. This engine is, as you can see, not a triple, but if you want to know more about this bike in particular or its sister, then check out our dedicated video about it. Now, last things last, let's move on to the 400 models. They are actually right here next to us. Let's stay here, as I can see that there are many people over there. We have the 400X here. This is the Scrambler 400 version. You can also get this as the Speed 400, which is a less off-road oriented version. We have handguards here. We have this protection here. We have a skid plate. Down below we have these beautiful golden forks. The engine in this bike produces about 40 horsepower, which is perfect for A2 license compliancy in Europe. Anywhere else in the world, that isn't really relevant. I have to say, I really like the levers on this bike, more so than on the Daytona. Seating position is about the same as on the 1200. I have to say, there's not really a big difference. One might say, oh, the 1200 is surely a taller bike. It is not, let me tell you that. This sure as hell would have been a contender among my first bikes I would have bought back in the days when I got my Fantic Caballero. So that's it with the news, the Triumph news. Let's move on to the next stand. Is it legally possible to marry a motorcycle? Is that possible? Can I marry a bike? Come on guys. Don't you get what I mean? Look at this beautiful Yamaha XSR900 GP. Fantastic bike. Last time I sat on it was at EICMA in November of last year. Now we have it here at IMOT in Munich. And let me talk to you about the news. Alright, so first of all, this bike, the GP, comes with a Bridgestone S23 tires as standard. Then what's more, we have a beautiful 5-inch TFT screen, absolutely stunning, blends in perfectly with this 80s style bike, really have to say. Then we have the cruise control here, which is a novelty for this bike, as well as the MT-09, which we will be seeing shortly. So like I said, cruise control, new for 2024. Otherwise, we have these beautiful retro style mirrors as standard. Sadly, this bike does not come with a full fairing, so the lower fairing needs to be bought as an option, which I highly suggest anybody do, because seriously, it looks way, way better with, at least in my opinion. Now let's talk about the riding position. Of course, we have a way more aggressive setup here. We have clip-on handlebars. They're not as radical as on a Super Sport, but still I really need to sit back in the seat, and I can really hide myself behind this windscreen, and just I can fully immerse myself into the racing scene. I can really feel like a racer. Otherwise, the engine is the same, 3-cylinder CP3, 120-ish horsepower, same Newton meters of torque. Nothing new in that regard. Comes as standard with the quick shifter and blipper as well. That worked fantastically in the past, so it's probably the same here. Overall, this bike is very, very handsome. Of course, in this GP version here, which you can see here, you cannot bring a passenger. Now, let me talk to you real quick before we move on to the MT-09 about the seat height. I am very comfortable with my 170 centimeters of height. I have my right leg on the foot pegs and my left leg in a very, very delightful position. Really, there is nothing bad I can say about this bike, but that is because I am highly biased towards it. All right, let's check out the MT-09. All right. Let me see the MT-09. All right, let's make this lady move for us, because, hey lady, could you please remove yourself from, I'm really sorry, could you please remove yourself?
No comprendo,
No.
sorry.
Okay, she seems to be Spanish. I guess I could have tried speaking to her in Spanish, but she's already gone. So let me come back to this bike. Now I'm sat on the MT-09 SP. What is new for 2024? Now we have an updated seating position. That is the most important thing, in my opinion. That's why I'll mention it first. We have foot pegs in a new position. We have a new tank, and that means we also have a new handlebar, and that means that the seating position is way more like on a naked, whereas the past models were more like a supermoto when it comes to a seating position. This, I can really say, this feels like a naked riding position. A naked bike riding position, of course, not a naked riding position. All right, you get me, guys. So we have the same 5-inch TFT screen we saw on the XSR900 GP. On the SP version, we have a golden Kayaba fork and an Öhlins shock. And like on the XSR900, we have a cruise control button now, which is new for 2024. Very useful for whoever goes on long journeys. Very, very comfortable, very, very nice. And what else is new? The headlight. The headlight is another obvious change. It's probably the change most people are gonna see at first. The first thing they're gonna notice, that's what I meant to say. And I don't really know, Yamaha always comes up with some crazy looking front headlights. I liked the one of the previous model better, I think. Or was it the model before? Anyways, taste is always very subjective, so don't make me be the judge of that. Otherwise, I have to say, commands work very good. Haptics work perfectly. Everything, every button feels easy to press, even with gloves on. And yes, that's it. The engine is the same. As I said, many parts are similar between the XSR and the MT-09. So let's see what else there is to find out at IMOT. Now, what a comfortable machine, what a comfortable bike. Kawasaki Eliminator 500, perfect for Europe's A2 class. We have 45 horsepower, a 500cc engine, and the bike really has everything it needs to be considered a bike and a fun little machine. Seriously, it doesn't always need to be the best of the best and the highest components, the high-end components, that's what I meant to say. You have a very solid feeling handlebar. You have a very readable display, beautiful wheels. The bike has this black color, and I guess I would not buy it in this black color. I'm not a big fan of black bikes, but that depends. Really, there's not much else to say. I can touch with both feet, and I overall am in a very, very comfortable riding position. Otherwise, you can also bring a pillion here on this bike, obviously on a cruiser. Very comfortable seating position as well. I can even hold myself here. Very good, very solid. Overall, not much else to say. Great for everybody that likes the cruiser lifestyle and wants a decently powered bike. Oh, let's move on to the naked version of the Eliminator, so to say. It's got the same engine. It's the Z500. It has a different display, still very readable and great. It has these huge blinkers. You can probably change for some aftermarket ones. Overall, the bike is very slim. As you can see, the tank is very, very slim. It's not as low as the Eliminator is, but still very, very low. So riders that aren't very tall will not have any problems whatsoever. Foot pegs are in a very pleasant position. And overall, that's it when it comes to the Z500. Let's move on to the most special of these three bikes. We have the Ninja 500 SE. This is not the normal Ninja 500, this is the SE version. What does that mean? That means you get a TFT dash and extra phone connectivity. Otherwise, this bike comes in this beautiful color scheme, which also indicates that this is the SE version. Now, it's got the same engine, 45 horsepower, 500 cc. Great little buttons, work very well, feel very great. And what else is there to say? You definitely don't notice that this is the 500 cc inline twin. From the looks of it, I really have to say that Kawasaki made it look like the 500 and the 600 are pretty similar. One could even think that one is the other. Now, if that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave that up to you. Otherwise, let's check out if you can bring a pillion here. Let's check out the seating position. It's very comfortable. I can't hold myself anywhere. That's of course, it's a sporty bike, right? There's no need for anything to hold on to for your pillion. They need to hold onto the rider, which is great. Yes, that's it when it comes to the Europe's A2 license category. Let's move on to the most special of all these ninjas. I'm talking about the Kawasaki Ninja 7 Hybrid. This is a hybrid motorcycle. Yes, you heard that right. It comes with an electric motor and an internal combustion engine. In total, it produces 69 horsepower, which is adequate. It has a nice little screen, but it's pretty small, I have to say. It's not very big at all. You don't have a clutch lever. You don't have anything in that regard, so you can focus on riding. You have a small little e-boost button, which you can boost your torque with for a short period of time. You have different riding modes. You have sport, you have eco, and you have e-mode only, which means you can ride up to 12 or 13 kilometers with the electric engine alone before the internal combustion engine kicks in and helps you out. Let's check out the seating position for the pillions. It's the same as on the Z500 SE, pretty sporty, and I have to hold myself onto the rider. Otherwise, let's check out the seat height. The seat height is taller than the Z500, obviously taller than the Eliminator. The engine, let's talk about the engine real quick. The engine that can be found in this bike is still a 450cc engine, so not a 700 like the name indicates. The internal combustion engine produces about 55 horsepower, the electric motor about 10 horsepower, so in total you get to about 69 I think is the exact horsepower this engine produces. Overall, this bike is very pricey. It comes in at a starting price of 13,000 euros. So that's not too cheap. Well, anyways, that's it from Kawasaki stand. Let's see what else there is to explore. That's it, guys. That's it. That's it from our side. IMOT is over. IMOT 2024 in Munich. It's been a blast. It's been a blast. We had our fun. All of the bikes were pretty nice to see. I really enjoyed my time here, and I hope you did so as well. Let me know in the comments which of the bikes you liked the most. I sure as hell enjoyed many of them, if not all of them. And let me know if you missed any of the bikes here at IMOT. Anyways, leave me a like if you liked the video. Subscribe to keep up to date with everything concerning the motorcycle world. Stay fresh and see you in the next one.